Hey guys, how are you? It's been a really long time since I've been able to do a gardening video, so I'm really excited to actually have the time and get to talk to you guys and update you. And um, I mean, it's kind of crazy. We're still in our rental house, which is not what we were expecting, but it is what it is. In fact, I was telling Darren I just cannot wait until we get into our actual house because I really miss having a big garden, and I know that when we do get into our new house that I plan to have a bigger garden than I had before. So I am just super anxious, and of course I have to go another growing season, I think at least, before we're in our house. But anyway, let me show you what we have going on. Obviously we're doing container gardening because at this rental house that we're at is really nice, and they have really nice grass, so we cannot disturb it with any garden beds or anything like that. So I'm kind of forced to do container gardening, but luckily last year and this year I was able to get quite a few pots and be able to plant quite a few things. So let me show you what I've got. We'll just start over here with the tomatoes. I've got quite a few tomatoes growing this year. I'm really excited about that. Nothing too new or exciting than I've done before. Unfortunately, I was not able to start any seeds inside because with my husband's job, he has this incentive trip we do every year, and we were just not able to have somebody take care of those indoor plants while we were gone. So unfortunately, we couldn't start any new unique seeds. So that's another reason why I cannot wait to get to our new house. But I will show you what I have. So here I have a mortgage lifter, and it's looking pretty good. Over here I have a Cherokee purple, and I think we're getting really close. Here, let me go on this side. I think we can see it better. We are getting really close to getting some tomatoes setting on. We do have some blooms, which is so exciting, but as you can see there's some that are kind of drying up. So I think here soon we'll have some tomatoes setting on that. But the tomatoes, I think, are really loving this weather we've had so far this week. This is my jet star, of course. Love doing the jet stars. And it does look like I need to start pruning a little bit on these tomato plants. And this is a Cherokee, or no, I'm sorry, not Cherokee. This is a Brandywine, a red Brandywine here, and just barely starting to get some blooms on it. Not much happening with this one yet, kind of slow going. And then in these pots I do have some basil growing in with it. I do need to thin that one out, and some zinnias. I have to be very creative with the container gardening. Like, I still want my zinnias and basil and stuff like that, so I've had to get really creative with these pots and putting what I can where I can. Okay, this one is a new one. I've actually never done this year, and so all of these tomato plants I've been able to pick up at our local nursery, and which, by the way, oh my gosh, I made the mistake of trying to go to Lowe's first, and I just couldn't believe how expensive the plants were this year. Oh my heart. Like, I think the tomato plants were like $5. That's just ridiculous. So I'm so glad while I was there, I kind of thought, oh, I didn't check our local nursery. So I decided to go there, and thank God I did, because I was able to find all of these tomato plants for only $2.50. So that's like half the price of what I would have paid at somewhere like Lowe's or even Menards. Although Menards did have some decent price stuff too, which I'll talk about soon. But this one's called the Midnight Snack. I don't know if any of you have grown this one, but if you have, tell me how you like it, because we're really excited to try that one this year. And we do already have some tomatoes on this guy. That's one thing I love about cherry tomatoes, is they're pretty quick growing, and they always do good for me. Like, I never have diseases with my cherries. Here's another cherry. And this one is the Sweet Million. I've done this one before. This one gets super bushy, so I'll definitely have to make sure that I'm pruning where I can. As far as basil goes, in these pots over here, like I have the lettuce leaf basil growing there, which I've tried to grow in the past and I just never got a good growth of it. So I'm really excited that I started it this early and we can see how well it does this year. And then the zinnias, I really don't remember what kind of zinnias I planted in these. I think there were some different ones that I put in, like the queen. I think it's, oh gosh, I can't even think of the name of them right now. Yeah, I'll have to look at that later. But this one I think is a Thai basil, and then in that one I have like the purple opal basil, which I really love. Okay, so after the tomatoes here, I have some other herbs here. Of course, more basil. We can never get enough basil in the summertime, so I'm excited to get all the basil this year. And then we got thyme, which is just your French thyme, and then Italian parsley, which I use in a lot of recipes. Okay, let's go over here and talk about peppers. This one is a jalapeno, and this one over here, this one I've never tried before, and this is one that I found at Menards actually, and it was only $2.50 for like 6 of these plants. I thought that was crazy. So anyway, this is a holy mole. It's supposed to be a hot pepper, so I'm excited to try that. Over here I've got a bell pepper, I believe. Yes, it's called California Wonder. That's another one I've never grown before. Another tomato plant over here. This is actually the green zebra. I think that I grew something similar to this in the past, but I can't remember because these ones are going to be kind of a more small or medium fruit, whereas the one that I've grown before I thought was a lot bigger. So I'm not sure about that. We'll have to see how this one goes. I'm excited though for the color because I think it'll look great in salads. And then over here in this pot I've got cucumbers. These are just the Market More 76, I believe it's called. And then over there I have some more peppers that I've never tried. This one is a yellow wax pepper. Let's see what this one's called. Hungarian yellow wax, and it's also supposed to be hot. I didn't realize that when I grabbed it. I thought it was just going to be your typical yellow pepper that was mild in heat, but no, it's supposed to be hot, so which is okay. We love heat in this house, so it'll work out. So I've got those growing there, and then another jalapeno over here, and then over here I have a ghost pepper. And then I have some rosemary over here. I was so sad. I had a variety of rosemary that survived the previous winter, not this winter, but the winter before. And then last season I had this awesome basil. I'm sorry, not basil, but rosemary. And unfortunately it died this past winter and did not come back up, so I had to get some more. And of course this is not one that's probably going to survive past the summer season, so maybe next year I can try to find another variety again that will actually survive through the winter. Over here I have some kale, some dinosaur kale. I need to thin it out a little bit here. In this pot I'm gonna be I sowed some seeds for some marigolds, so I can make sure I have some flowers in the garden. Over here I planted some nasturtiums, which I tried to grow last year and the birds came up and took my seedlings out, so I was so sad, and then I just didn't ever sow anymore. So we're starting over again this year, but I'm really excited to try those out. And there's a little Cosmo seedling that popped up from last year, so I'm just going to keep that guy in there. Over here we have peonies growing. This was planted here before, or these were here before we moved in, of course, and they are absolutely beautiful. I love to cut them and put them in vases inside the house. It's just a beautiful light pink color. I just love it. And we still got some buds, so some that haven't even bloomed yet. And the only thing that I'm really sad about with the peonies is they just don't, or peonies, they just don't last very long. So once they bloom, they're done for the season, and then you're just kind of left with all this greenery here. So for me, that's kind of tough, especially since we have limited gardening space. Is I like I have some area here that I wish I could grow other flowers in, but it's kind of hard to do with all these. And I will cut them back, and maybe I can throw something in the ground. Kind of in between here, these ones didn't grow very good, and they've also been kind of cut down by the mower guy that comes here. But I did throw in some zinnia seeds over here just so that I could have my zinnias somehow, some way, right? Anyway, we'll see how that goes. Kind of late in showing you guys all the irises that were over here. They looked so pretty about like 3 or 4 days ago. There were so many different colors in this bed. So I'm kind of sad that I didn't come out here and catch those for you guys. But they're gorgeous over here. Usually there's like white, these yellow and red ones, and then purple and yellow ones. So I'm kind of sad. Maybe I'll have another bloom before they're done. So I've had to get kind of creative here since I don't have very much gardening space. So there's a bare spot here in the yard, kind of towards the back fence, and there's just like bare soil here, like, you know, where no grass is. So I'm kind of trying to attempt to grow okra. So we'll see if that works. Here they are. Oh, I did have like two okra plants planted together, so I put one of them over there, and it's kind of looking like it's wilting over, but we'll see if it straightens up. So there's 3 different kinds over here. We have the orange Jing, crimson spineless, and then there's like one other, I can't remember the name. But yeah, so we'll see what happens. I hope the mower guys don't mow them up. That's why I put cages over these. Well, that's really it for what I have right now. I'll definitely keep you guys updated throughout the gardening season as to how everything's growing, and then when I get harvest and all that. And I do plan to plant some things for the fall, like carrots and beets and radishes and lettuce. So when this summer gardening season is done, I'm definitely going to try to do that in my containers. So I'll try to record that as well. But guys, I've missed you, and also I just want to say thank you so much, because I looked at my channel the other day and saw that I have 500 subscribers, and that's huge, because, you know, a few years ago when I started, I maybe barely had like 12 or something. So that's just really incredible. So I just wanted to say thank you so much, and I appreciate it so much. I love your comments, and I love that you're kind of journeying, or, you know, going with me in this journey of gardening, and then having to deal with, you know, this container gardening that I now have to do. But I have huge plans. So I hope you stick around. And if you're visiting this channel for the first time, please like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you guys so much. It was so great to finally do a gardening video. So we'll see you soon. Bye, guys.